And we are live. All right, everyone, welcome back to my channel, Baseball Talk with Nick Morgan. Today is episode 10 of our Who is Better player comparison series, our final episode of the New York comparison set. Now, this was leading up until opening day. We are just about a week and a half away from that April 1st start date. Very exciting. Regular season baseball is almost back. And the point of this series was to figure out who the best player was at each position in New York baseball for the 2021 regular season. We've gone through 9 positions so far, all the defensive positions minus right field, which we're going to cover today, the starting pitchers, and our bullpen guys. We went over the ace and the closing pitcher for both staffs. And now it's Aaron Judge, Michael Conforto, what might be one of the more exciting episodes of the series here. I'm sad to see it come to an end. This was a lot of fun for me. All the preparation was really cool. I got to really dive into the stats for these players. And B, just this was a fun, interactive way to compare some really bright, shining stars in Major League Baseball, especially heading into this regular season. However, if this is something that you guys do like to see on the channel, make sure to let me know down below in the chat or in the comment section, and I can run an episode of this series every week over the course of the regular season with players of all different teams in different divisions and leagues. I think that might be pretty cool. Maybe get a Mookie Betts and Mike Trout in there, Fernando Tatis Jr. and Juan Soto, or Ronald Acuna Jr. and Juan Soto, young talent, veterans, everyone. Let me know down below in the comment section who you want to see and if I should keep this series up. But for right now, staying in the present, it is Aaron Judge versus Michael Conforto, New York Yankees versus New York Mets, our final position. We did 10 episodes in 9 days on the YouTube channel here. This is going to be a fun one. Aaron Judge, Michael Conforto. Without further ado, let's get into it. Starting off with the New York Yankees right fielder number 99. Who is Aaron Judge? Well, he was selected in the first round of the 2013 draft, 32nd overall by the New York Yankees, and made his Major League debut with the organization on August 13th, 2016. We then shift our focus to Michael Conforto, also a 28-year-old right fielder who was also drafted in the first round. He was the 10th selection by the New York Mets in 2014. So 1 year later, he was drafted, but also in the first round like his New York Yankees counterpart. And his Major League Baseball debut was just about a year earlier than Aaron's when he made his first big game appearance. It was July 24th, 2015. So Conforto was not in the minor league system for too long, came up, he was a budding superstar for the New York Mets. His contract is getting ready to expire. We'll see if maybe the Mets sign him to a massive extension, if it'll go to him or Lindor, or maybe even both. But for now, Aaron Judge, Michael Conforto, two 28-year-olds, 2 former first-round draft picks, and our 2 starting right fielders here in New York baseball going into the 2021 regular season. Now, if you guys are unfamiliar with how this series works, what we're going to go ahead and do is break down their stats from 2017 to 2019, then single out the 2020 season and look at the numbers from there, and then also end things off with the baseball reference projections for this upcoming year. So let's go ahead, take a look at 2017 to 2019 for these 2 corner outfielders. All right. So, 2017 to 2019, Aaron Judge and Michael Conforto. Who's the better right fielder? Well, we'll start with games played. Aaron, 369 games over the course of this 3-year span. For Michael Conforto, he appeared in 413 games, and he is going to go ahead and win that category. He has more games, so he's going to take it. That's why you see his numbers italicized and underlines. It means that a certain player leads in that particular category. So, Conforto's not only going to lead in games, but obviously, with this huge difference in games played, he will also lead in at-bats and hits. 1,465 at-bats for the New York Mets outfielder. And then 377 hits for Conforto as well. Hello to everyone in the chat. How are you guys doing? Thank you for joining me today, comparing New York Yankees and New York Mets Aaron Judge and Michael Conforto. So Conforto walks away with the first three categories. He wins in games, at-bats, and hits. Judge, 1,333 at-bats in 369 games, put up 372 hits, good for a 279 batting average. So Judge does walk away with the better average. Everything else, Michael Conforto got more playing time, so he's going to lead in the first three. We now look to runs and extra base hits. If you guys are familiar with the episodes we do within the series here, you would know my thoughts on the doubles and triples categories, especially for this individually. But if you are new, when we are comparing these two players, we are not going to single out doubles, triples, even stolen bases and walks really. And runs. These categories don't mean all too much. So if I were to go ahead and say, let's take this for example, Aaron Judge, 64 doubles compared to Michael Conforto's 74. I'm not going to say strictly based off that one stat that Michael Conforto is easily the better player because he had more doubles in this 3-year time frame. So that's essentially what I mean here. Runs, doubles, triples, stolen bases, I don't really count too much. They don't mean all that much for me as an individual when comparing these two players, but just statistically speaking, I'm throwing these in here onto the graphics, into my vocabulary, so I can get you guys these numbers, relay you the information, and it might be something that you guys are interested to know. You learn something new every day, especially when it comes to stats. So 280 runs scored for Aaron Judge. Again, this is not a good factor into how good Aaron actually is, because most of the time when he's getting on base, the amount of runs he scores is based off of the other 8 guys in his surrounding lineup. So for Aaron Judge, scoring 280 runs, yes, that is 40 more and a significant number over Michael Conforto, but that 40-run difference isn't going to make or break the comparison. We then look to doubles, which I already mentioned here a little bit just a few moments ago. 64 doubles for Judge, 74 for Conforto, and now we look at triples and home runs, both categories that Aaron Judge led from 17 to 19. Judge had one more triple than Michael Conforto, and if we look at this, 18 more home runs. 106 to 88 for the Yankees and Mets sluggers respectively. Now, of course, Aaron Judge is set to be more of a power hitter. You think of Aaron Judge and Michael Conforto, they both have a lot of pop in their bat, but who do you think is going to hit more home runs in a given season? Well, typically, off the top of your head, you would go most likely with Aaron Judge. He's just known for those power numbers. 106 home runs in less games, nonetheless. So Aaron Judge will go ahead and win both triples and home runs. We then look to RBIs, and this is a 6-run batted in differential, 236 to 242 for the Yankees and Mets respectively. Stolen base-wise, it is 18 to 12. Aaron Judge leads here in this category, as he also leads in walks, 267 to 225. Now, that is nearly a 40 walk difference. And if we look at it here, a lot less games. He's getting on base quite more often via ball 4. That is going to definitely help out his on-base percentage a little bit. Let's see. Judge could have had 150 plus if he doesn't get hurt that much. Yeah, Aaron Judge is definitely a great power hitter. If he can stay healthy, I've said it before, but the numbers this guy can put up in a full 162 game season, if healthy the entire time, are ridiculous. That's kind of a nod towards a future video here on my channel coming out before opening day. Have your notifications turned on. But yeah, Aaron Judge is just incredible at the plate. If he's healthy and he's swinging his A-plus form, he's going to hit 40 home runs, 45 home runs per season. And that's just ridiculous to even conceptualize that that's even possible for a guy like Aaron Judge. I mean, this guy is huge. I think he's 6'7", massive build. Aaron Judge on Carlos Stanton as well, both being teammates, is also pretty fun. But yeah, Aaron Judge definitely capable of quite the amount of home runs from 2017 to 2019. He does finish with 106. It's unfortunate he gets injured. He's really a great guy coming from a Red Sox fan. I mean, yeah, Aaron Judge, I mean, If he could stay healthy for a full season, that's all I'm saying. If he could stay healthy for a full season, he's actually on my sweater today. I got him on my sweatshirt because this is the right field episode. But if he could stay healthy for a full season, Aaron Judge is a force to be reckoned with, and definitely a guy who's going to be a top performer in the American League. So, again, the walks, really going to go ahead. If we look back to stats here, the walks definitely help out the on base for Aaron Judge, 267 to 225. And then we look at strikeouts. Aaron Judge, because he's a big power hitter, is going to wave and miss quite often. He is going to give his full swing every time because you are looking for the home run, especially if you're a guy like Aaron Judge, you can muscle one out with ease. 501 strikeouts and 1,333 at-bats. It's quite a high number, especially when we look at Michael Conforto's 421 strikeouts and 1,465 at-bats. But, you know, Aaron Judge, you look at what else he's done offensively, a higher average still with more strikeouts in less time, more home runs. He's still walking quite a bit, getting on base, singles, doubles, triples, everything. You really love to see this guy, again, in full form. He's a sight to see. So strikeouts, huge number for Judge. Michael Conforto will go ahead and take that category. But that is all that Conforto wins to this point. You know, he is going to walk away with games, at-bats, hits, doubles, RBI, strikeouts. Everything else goes to the New York Yankees right fielder as he leads in on-base percentage, slugging, OPS, and OPS+. We compare the on-base percentages here, 401 to 363. This is a significant difference. That on-base percentage, because of the spike and how much greater it is than Conforto's, is definitely going to help out the OPS+. But then you look at slugging, and the difference between the slugging percentages is even greater. 572 for Aaron, 492 for Michael. So on-base percentage, Aaron Judge leads by quite a bit. Slugging, he blows Conforto out of the water. His percentages are a lot better in these 3 seasons. And with the on-base being so much higher, with the slugging being up there just south of 600, the OPS ended at 973 for these 3 seasons. Really great stats for Aaron Judge. If he can continue to do that, you know, throughout the course of 2-3 year spans, he is on track to do some great things with the New York Yankees, though he already is. He's on track to do great things with this franchise going into 2021, and so is Michael Conforto of the New York Mets. Now, we have covered pretty much everything other than what you see on screen at the very bottom, which is OPS+. If you don't know what OPS+ is, first of all, OPS is on base plus slugging, so when you add that 401 and 572 together for Aaron Judge, you get the 973 on base plus slugging. And then OPS+ is an advanced metric that measures how much better you are than the rest of the league. So Aaron Judge has a 156 OPS+. If your OPS+ is higher than 100, you are above league average. So in this case, Aaron Judge is 56% better than the rest of the league in strictly OPS. Then for Michael Conforto, a 363 on base, 492 slugging, 855 OPS, and a 131 OPS+, meaning he is 31% better than the league when it comes to that OPS category. So Aaron Judge leads in on-base, slugging, OPS, and OPS+, which will give him the upper hand in this span for comparisons. We also look at awards. Both were given from 17 to 19, and Aaron Judge was an all-star in the first 2 seasons, 2017 and 2018. He was also the Rookie of the Year in the American League. The Silver Slugger in 2017 also went to him for his designated position. So Judge, all-star in 17 and 18, Rookie of the Year, Silver Slugger in 2017. He really went off. 2017, huge numbers. Of course, he set the single-season rookie home run record before Pete Alonso would end up breaking it of the New York Mets just a little while later. And Michael Conforto, he was an all-star in 2017. That pretty much ends his awards for this time frame, but not bad overall. Going over to the chat here, Judge has a pretty underrated glove as well. He most definitely does. I mean, Aaron Judge is going to give his all for plays in right field. Definitely a very solid guy to have on both sides of the baseball. Again, when he is healthy, he makes a huge impact for this Yankees team, and he plays a great right field. He's going to make diving plays. He's going to be able to jump and rob potentially home runs. I mean, the first thing that comes to mind is if you're familiar with Zach Campbell, that photo of Aaron Judge robbing Zach Campbell essentially of a home run ball at Yankee Stadium at the short porch. Aaron Judge just leaps up, makes the catch. I mean, of course, his height definitely helps him in that scenario, but Judge also a great defender as pointed out. Thank you for explaining OPS Plus. I didn't know what that was. Yeah, I mean, of course, I love looking at these stats. I'm a huge stat head myself, diving into all these numbers, looking at some advanced metrics. I really do appreciate the numbers that players put out over the course of a season. So if I can give at least one of those things to my viewers, I would love for that to be the case, help you guys learn a little bit as well, and I'm glad OPS Plus and that description was beneficial. So yeah, we look at 2017 and 2019 before we head on to the abbreviated 2020 season and the stats from that 60-game schedule. We do look to see Aaron Judge was the better New York right fielder from 2017 to 2019 at least. Of course, we haven't looked at 2020 yet. We are still going to look at the 2021 projections. Hello to everyone in the chat and on stream. Thank you for joining me today. Of course, as you can see, comparing Aaron Judge, Michael Conforto, our New York baseball starting right fielders for this upcoming season. But as I was saying, Aaron Judge, clearly the better right fielder in Major League Baseball from 2017 to 2019, out of the two guys in discussion. The average is higher. He hits really for more extra base hits. The doubles is 10 doubles lower, one extra triple, but the huge difference is home runs. Judge, a big power hitter, especially over Michael Conforto, can definitely muscle out a bunch of home runs. He's going to steal bases, which I've said earlier on, I don't take into account too much. But you do look at what he leads. He leads stolen bases. He also leads walks in significantly less at-bats, 132 less at-bats. And he still had 42 more walks. Other than that, he leads in every percentage category on base, slugging, OPS, OPS plus. With those four stats and batting average and home runs, you can easily say Aaron Judge gets the nomination here for best right fielder in New York baseball. Also, the glove is a little more strong for Aaron. So with that, we do know that Aaron Judge was the better right fielder in New York baseball from 2017 to 2019. But what about 2020? Let's go ahead and take a look at last season's numbers now. And I'm going to go ahead, throw the graphics up on screen for you guys to follow along. But the 2020 season, we see quite a large shift in the italics and underlines for statistics. Now, we're going to see it's very lopsided, right-handed heavy, rather left-handed heavy, actually, if we're taking it literally. Michael Conforto leads in the majority of these categories. You see right down the line, anything italicized or underlined means that he leads the categories. So we see that Aaron Judge does not have the upper hand in the good majority of these categories. Let's go ahead and dive into the numbers a little bit here, though. Aaron only playing in 28 games last season, 101 at-bats, 26 hits, and a 257 average. Definitely a down year for him. Missed a lot of games in playing time. He really has to come back in 2021 healthy. All signs are pointing to that being the case, which is awesome for Yankees fans like myself, because again, when he is healthy at his best game, he is nearly unstoppable. So that 257 average in 101 at-bats, most definitely low. And then you see Michael Conforto, you look at his numbers, and it blows Judge out of the water. 54 games, only missing 6 games out of the entire year. 202 at-bats, 65 hits, and a 322 batting average. That is huge right there. The average really skyrocketed for Conforto last season, and he did exceedingly well at the plate. He also scored 40 runs with 12 doubles tallied to his name, and 9 homers. Aaron Judge, 23 runs scored, which again, we don't consider all too much when comparing players, but just for the fact of it being a stat, I wanted to portray that and relay it to you guys. So Judge did score 23 runs with only 3 two-base hits. They both tied with 0 triples, and Aaron Judge tied Michael Conforto also with 9 home runs. So Conforto easily right here has not lost a single category. He has tied both triples and home runs. But other than that, he's really running away with the 2020 comparison. Runs batted in also is going to go to Michael Conforto, a 9 ribby difference, 22-31 for the Yankees and Mets respectively. Conforto stole 3 more bases than Aaron Judge and totaled 3 stolen bases. And this time we do see Aaron Judge walk less in less at-bats, unlike the 2017 to 2019 span, where it was Michael Conforto walking less in quite some more at-bats. This time it's going to be 24 walks for the Mets right fielder. Then looking at strikeouts, and actually this time as well, Aaron is going to strike out less, unlike the 2017 to 2019 numbers that we did see. 32 strikeouts in 101 at-bats is a lot. That's nearly 32% of at-bats he's striking out in. Nonetheless, technically, yeah, he did have less strikeouts than his Mets counterpart, so he wins that category. And Michael Conforto, 57 strikeouts, 54 games, averaging just more than 1 strikeout per outing. We then get to the percentages yet again here. 336 on base for Judge, 554 slugging, 891 OPS, and a 142 OPS plus. So yes, he was above league average last year in nearly half of the 60-game schedule, 42% better than the league, more specifically right there. 336 on base, so he was getting on base quite often there for the New York Yankees. A 554 slugging, which still is not bad. You really want that OBP to be a little bit higher. His OPS ended the year at 891, but for Conforto on the flip side of things, a 412 on base, 515 slugging, 927 OPS, that's huge, and the OPS plus ending at 156. So that means he was 56% better than his league. And obviously, you could just tell Michael Conforto is the better right fielder here from the 2020 season. Down here for Judge, Conforto led in practically everything other than tying for triples and homers. He also lost out on the strikeouts and slugging category, but his slugging percentage was still north of 500. His OPS was north of 900, and OPS plus was also fairly high. Then we look at WAR, and this is just to close things out here in 2020. We've explained this quite often within the series episodes that have come before this. Wins above replacement, essentially, the higher someone's WAR is, the more valuable they are to their respective team. This is definitely a very controversial category when it comes to statistics in Major League Baseball, because it's not an accurate representation of how good a player really is. Yes, of course, if the number is extremely high, you know that makes them even more valuable. But a 1.1 more for Aaron Judge, meaning that the Yankees won 1 point more games pretty much with Aaron Judge in the lineup than without. And then for Michael Conforto, he was technically a more valuable player for the New York Mets as well, coming in at a 2.2 WAR, which was doubled what Aaron Judge finished the year at. WAR, again, a lot of people can be on the fence about it. Some will stress it, being that it's one of the most important categories in the game, which I don't think is the case. But then also, some people say it's one of the worst categories, which I don't necessarily agree with either. For me, WAR is just kind of an in-between stat. It's there that you're going to kind of look at more to support your claim, not make your claim off of. WAR is never going to be the foundation of an argument. It should always be one of the later pieces. And in this case, that's exactly what it is. Michael Conforto led in games, at-bats, hits, average, runs, extra base hits, RBIs, stolen bases, walks, on-base, OPS, OPS plus, and then WAR. So that's a mouthful right there. Michael Conforto really winning the heavy majority of these categories. He proved to be the better right fielder in New York baseball last season. Down here for Aaron Judge, Michael Conforto, though, really capitalized in that 54-game span. Good for him. He was the better right fielder in 2020. So before we look at the 2021 projections, we have seen Aaron Judge as the better overall player from 2017 to 2019, and last season, Michael Conforto claimed that title. So let's see who does it go to in 2021 with Baseball Reference projections. If you guys do not know what this part of the episode is, what I've done in every video so far leading up to this point in the show is we have taken a look at baseballreference.com, home to virtually every statistic in Major League Baseball. It is a great website if you're a stat head looking to get into maybe the advanced numbers a little bit or just look at the basic metrics. Go ahead, head to baseballreference.com. It's a great site. I personally love it. Spend a lot of time over there, and especially I did for the research with these episodes. But Baseball Reference, what's really cool, other than the fact that they have both offensive and defensive stats and categories listed for you for every player in the game, both past and present, they do have projections for every upcoming season. So prior to 2020, in the 2019 season, they had projections for 2020. In the 2020 season, they had projections for 2021. And that's, of course, the off season, not the regular season. But in the 2020 off season, they had the 2021 projections. And that's what this is right now. These are the numbers you're seeing on the graphics in front of you. Now, these 2021 projections from Baseball Reference are based off of career averages and recent trends in a player's gameplay. So a number that is important to note at the top of your screen right now is that percent reliability category. It's at the very top, and essentially that is the number that Baseball Reference spits out for how accurate they believe these numbers are going to be and how closely they represent what they believe is going to be the finalized stat line for any player that they are projecting. So for Aaron Judge, Baseball Reference is 76% confident that these numbers are relatively close to what he's going to do at the end of the season, 162 game year here in 2021. They have him at 340 at-bats with 89 hits and a 262 batting average. Not terrible. He's going to lead in batting average out of these two guys. I do think he gets more playing time, at least as a Yankees fan. I hope he gets more playing time. 340 at-bats is a little low. I think that's, if you're averaging, give or take, 3 at-bats a game, just, from 110 to 120 games in the season. Personally, I would love to see him play a little bit more than that. I hope he's healthy. It seems like that's going to be the case, knock on wood. So if that is actually what ends up happening here, he does play in significantly more games, we're going to see more at-bats and more hits and a higher average, hopefully. And then for Michael Conforto of the New York Mets, Baseball Reference has his percentage at 83 for percent reliability. So they are a little more confident in their numbers for Michael Conforto. They feel like they more closely resemble his finalized stat line at the end of the year than Aaron Judge's do. So that's kind of how it makes it a little difficult to compare in this case right now for the 2021 season. 76% reliability, 83% reliability. Not a huge difference, but a notable one just because they are a little more satisfied with the numbers they are publishing for Michael Conforto. I don't know how the algorithm works, but it suggests Michael Conforto will have 496 at-bats this season, collecting 129 hits and a 260 batting average. So more at-bats, more hits, but the average is going to be slightly lower, 0.002 less for Conforto. But he will lead the first two categories right there. We now look at runs, extra base hits, and all the other categories that follow. Aaron Judge is projected to score 63 times in 2021 as compared to Michael Conforto's 81. Extra base hits, we go to doubles, and Conforto is going to lead this again, 25-16. They will both tie in triples for the second straight season. Last year they tied at 0. This year they're projected to both have 1 3-base hit apiece. And then what really shocked me was at-bats for Aaron Judge at 340 and home runs at 22. I think if he's healthy, which again, all signs point that way, knock on wood, it looks like he is going to at least start the season on the opening day roster, which is definitely a plus. But if Aaron Judge is healthy, I think he's hitting more than 22 home runs in a season. That number, for me, feels a little bit low. I would also like to believe the batting average is a little bit lower. Personally, I would like to see that up in the 270s, really at the minimum. Not necessarily at the minimum, but preferably Aaron Judge hitting in the 270s would be a lot better than him hitting in the 260s, though it might not necessarily be a huge difference on paper. Just that extra bit of production would really be beneficial. So Aaron Judge projected 22 home runs, Michael Conforto 26. Also remember, Michael Conforto is getting 156 more at-bats, again projected by Baseball Reference. So he should get more home runs in that time frame. But I don't know. I think even without comparisons, if we were just looking at Aaron Judge's projections for this upcoming season, I would think his home run total is a little bit low. That's just me. So Conforto, he's going to lead in doubles, triples, home runs. He also leads in RBIs, 78 to 54. He'll take the stolen base category 6 to 4, and he will also walk a bit more and again significantly more at bats. Now, he had 140 strikeouts, which I'm now realizing I actually underlined and italicized the wrong stat right there. It should go to Aaron Judge because you want to strike out less if you're a batter. Of course, less is more there when it comes to going down on strike three. So Aaron Judge leads strikeouts 117 to 140. That's an error on my part. But then we look at the percentages, on base, slugging, OPS. Personally, this is how I believe it should be. They should go to Aaron Judge, a 364 on base, 509 slugging, 873 OPS. There's not much that separates the on-base percentages for both of these guys. Slugging is quite a bit higher for Aaron Judge, and the OPS is obviously going to be a bit higher as well as a result of that. Really, what do I think of these projections? Well, 76% reliability for Baseball Reference. I'm not going to get on their tail too much. I would like to see a little bit more from Aaron Judge as a Yankees fan, as a huge fan of All Rise himself. I would like to think he puts up some better numbers here, and I think he's definitely capable of doing that. Baseball Reference suggests that Michael Conforto is the better right fielder, though, going into 2021. And that's interesting. I don't think that is incorrect per se. Michael Conforto and Aaron Judge, I knew entering this episode it was going to be close, that they were going to be two very tight comparisons. I like where both of the players are right now. I think they are going to have a lot of success here in 2021. They're poised to really help out their clubs respectively in great ways. Aaron Judge, Michael Conforto, both are a part of very competitive New York Yankees and Mets rosters. And both the Yankees and Mets are expected to do extremely well here this upcoming season. I think some of that will result in the success of their starting right fielders. And I really like this episode. This was a fun comparison. Aaron Judge and Michael Conforto. What we didn't take into account really whatsoever was the defense. And I mentioned it earlier on if you guys are in the stream and you weren't there for when I said it. Aaron Judge does have the better defense of the two, right? I think he is going to be better with the glove out in right field, and that's just something we didn't measure. We didn't look at the defending stats and the metrics there. However, offensively, we saw from 2017 to 2019, the better right fielder in New York baseball. That title went to Judge without a doubt. In 2020, Aaron really struggled. Michael Conforto earned that. He got the crown for best corner outfielder, at least in right field, out of these two New York teams. And in 2021, Baseball Reference projects Conforto to be better offensively in a lot more at-bats. Over 150 at-bats separate Judge and Conforto. I think that's huge. And I also think that Aaron Judge is going to be healthy. And I think he's going to get a lot more playing time than that 76% reliability stat measures and projects for him. So I'm going to go ahead and say I'm going to go against the grain here. Baseball Reference projects Michael Conforto to be the better right fielder in New York baseball. I'm going to go with Aaron Judge, though. I just think all around, he's great on both sides of the baseball. If he's healthy, he's going to go off, be an imperative part of the New York Yankees organization, but also just perform at such a high level. Both of these players have super high ceilings, and it's going to be fun to watch them play in 2021. Also, now I'm super biased to both guys, not only because I enjoy watching both of their teams, but Michael Conforto is on my fantasy baseball team, so I would love to see him do well, have him crush the baseball, But I do fantasy baseball. I was able to draft Michael Conforto for one of my outfield spots. I like that pick. Really, when it comes down to it, both of these guys are solid players, whether they're in the lineup or out there defensively, they're going to put up good numbers for you. They're going to be guys you can have hope and promise in. They will overall perform to great levels. Aaron Judge, Michael Conforto. Personally, I think Judge is the better right fielder for this upcoming season overall, though Baseball Reference may project otherwise. But for the last time here in the New York player comparison series. That is gonna end it for this video. If you enjoyed, don't forget to drop a like down below, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. Aaron Judge versus Michael Conforto, who is better? Player comparison. This was episode 10 in the series. A lot of fun. Again, if you want to see this kind of content persist throughout the course of the regular season, let me know in the comments or in the chat if you're live right now as we are going through and finishing up this episode. All different players and different teams, leagues, divisions, all of it. Just for the start of the 2021 regular season, I thought this would be cool since both New York organizations are going to be very prominent this season and both have some superstars all across the board. But guys, that is going to end it. I have Aaron Judge as the best New York right fielder in baseball this upcoming season. Baseball Reference offensively believes it's going to be Michael Conforto. Let me know who you guys think is the best New York right fielder in the comments or in the chat. But that's going to end it, guys. Thank you all so much for watching. I will see you all next time. Peace.